Good day everyone. So it's Miss Nelia Miran and I'm going to discuss to you about fraction in this video. To begin our discussion, let's have first a definition of what is a fraction. So a fraction is a smaller part of a whole number. It is a representation of dividing a number into parts. Generally, any smaller number than 1 must be a fraction or it has a fraction counterparts. A fraction is written with one number over the other that is divided by a line or what we called as the fraction bar. So like here, for example, we have 3 over 8, we have 11 over 16, or we have sometimes we can use, so we have the first two examples we use the fraction bar, and the other way of writing a fraction is using the slash. So parts of a fraction, so we have the upper number or the number above the fraction bar is what we call the numerator, and then the number below the fraction bar is what we call the denominator. So now let's move on with the different kinds of fractions. We have first the proper fractions, second improper fractions, third one we have mixed numbers, and then lastly we have complex fractions. So when we say proper fractions, it is a fraction in which the absolute value of a numerator is lesser than the absolute value of its denominator. Meaning, the number above the fraction bar are lesser than the number below the fraction bar or our denominator of the given fraction. So on the examples, we have 1/4, we have 2 over 4, we have negative 4 over 6, and 5 over 9. So these are an example of a proper fraction. So our numerator is lesser than the denominator. Next kind of fraction is what we call improper fraction. Improper fraction is just a reverse of the proper fraction. So when we say improper fraction, we deal with fractions that its absolute value of the numerator is greater than or equal to the absolute value of its denominator. Such example, we have 5 over 2, we have 9 over 7, and 5 over 5. So as you can see, the numerator of our given fractions are bigger value compared to our denominator. So next kind of fraction is what we call mixed number. A mixed number is a sum of a whole number and a proper fraction, meaning it is just a combination of a whole number and a fraction form. So such example, we have 3 and 1/4, and 9 and 3 over 7. So these are example of a mixed number. So we have a whole number and then a proper fraction combined together. That results to a mixed numbers. Last kind of fraction is what we call complex fraction. A complex fraction are fractions of which our numerator and denominator are also a fraction. So we have here, for example, we have 1/2 over 3 over 4, 3/4. And the second example, we have 3 and 2 plus 4 over 2 minus 1 over 4 plus 2. So these are examples of a complex fraction. So complex fraction is just the same with dealing with division of fractions. So that's it. Our 4 kinds of fraction. We have proper fraction, improper fraction, mixed number, and complex fractions. At this part, we are now going to discuss about how to change improper fractions to whole number or mixed number. So again, when we say improper fraction, meaning our numerator is bigger than or has a greater value compared to our denominator. An improper fraction can be changed to a whole number or a mixed number by simply dividing the numerator by the denominator. And if it has a remainder, you can write the remainder as the proper fraction and annex to the quotient. So for you to understand, let's have this for example. So we have 23 over 4, so is an example of improper fraction. So to change this improper fraction into mixed number form, we can just simply divide the numerator. Our numerator is 23 and the denominator is 4. So we divide 23 by 4. We have the result 5 as a whole number and it has a remainder 3. So if we are going to rewrite this result as the mixed number form of our given improper fraction, we will take the whole number 5 as the whole number, and then we will use the remainder 3 as our new numerator, and we just copy the original denominator of the given, which is 4. So we can now have the equivalent value of our given improper fraction. So 23 over 4, an improper fraction, is equal to its corresponding value in mixed number form, which is 5 and 3/4. We have another example, 100 over 20. So 100 over 20 is also an example of improper fraction. And then if we are going to convert it into a mixed number or a whole number, we will have 100 divided by 20, that will result to 5, having 0 as the remainder. So we can just simply write 5 as the equivalent of our given improper fraction 100 over 20. So that's it for changing improper fractions into whole number or mixed number. Next we have is changing to mixed number to its corresponding improper fraction. So in changing mixed number into improper fraction, we will just simply multiply the whole number by the denominator of the fraction and then add the product to the numerator and writing the result over the denominator. Let's have this for example. Okay, earlier example we have 5 and 3/4. So first we multiply the denominator and the whole number. So 5 times 4, that would be equal to 20. Then the product is 20. You are then going to add the product to our numerator, which is 3. So 20 plus 3, that is 23, and then you copy the denominator, which is 4. So then we have the equivalent value of our given mixed number, 5 and 3/4 is equal to 23 over 4. Next is this example. So same process as the example number 1. For example number 2, our whole number is 10 and we have our denominator is 20. So we multiply 10 and 20, we have 200. Then 200 product to be added to the numerator, which is 11. So 200 plus 11, that would be equal to 211 over 20. So that's it for changing different fractions.